All right, we are here with Coach Ryan McCarthy, Jessica Madison, and Alysa Devine after the Alaska Anchorage Seawolves overtime victory in the NCAA Division II West Regional Semifinal. I'll now open it to the floor for questions.
How about an opening statement, Coach?
That was a heck of a basketball game. I think everyone got a good sweat in on that one, whether you were in the stands or coaching or playing. I got to give a lot of credit to Cal Baptist. They're a really well-coached team. They had a good game plan for us. I thought they handled our pressure really well. That was the first time all season we've had to switch our defense to man. So Tarkanian, I think, would have been proud. But I was just really proud of our girls for showing a lot of heart down the stretch. We got down by 8 and came up with, and that's about the time we switched to man. And we practice man every day in practice, but we rarely use it in games. And they came out and just really executed man-to-man defense. And I thought that was kind of the turn of the game. We started getting consecutive stops and turning those into fast break opportunities and getting the ball into Megan and different players stepping up like Alysa and Jess, hitting some jump shots. So at the end of the day, it's about getting buckets, and we were fortunate to get more buckets today.
Alysa, can you talk about some of the big shots you hit, especially late?
Well, I guess I wasn't really hitting too much in the first half, but I knew it would fall eventually, and nobody else was hitting at the moment, so I was like, okay, I just got to keep shooting, and eventually it's going to fall. So, and thankfully they did. So.
What was it like out there?
It was crazy at times, actually, the whole game. It was a really fun game to be a part of, and yeah, it was great.
Well, last year's experience in their regional, how much did that come up this week in terms of his motivation based on last year's?
Well, that's been a motivating factor since the day after that game, or maybe the second after the game. I remember, for me, I've been in basketball a long time. I was fortunate enough to be born into the game. My dad was a basketball player and, competed as a player, and was fortunate enough to be able to coach. And that was the most embarrassing I felt after a loss, and I felt like that was my fault. I made a bad decision at the end. And I took full responsibility for that loss. So I know that it motivated our ladies. We have a pretty special group, obviously. And I remember just going out into the hallway and laying down in the stairway and getting locked out before a news guy opened some doors I get back in. But I think as bad as I felt, I didn't have to play. And I can't imagine the heartbreak that the ladies went through. And so I think at times maybe that they had flashbacks of that, but that was kind of put to rest after our first round victory. Just getting out of the first round, getting a monkey off of our back. And for me as a coach, that was my first time that I've been able to be part of a win in the NCAA tournament. I just feel really humbled about it. I think the ladies do too. To be able to be in this situation, just get a chance to compete against one of the best teams in the country.
I think you guys were down at the half only one time this year previous to this game. What was the halftime? Was there a speech, or what was the motivation at the half?
I think if I worked at Cal Baptist, you wouldn't have been able to say what I said. Basically me challenging our team. The first half wasn't us. That wasn't the way we compete. That wasn't the way that we take pride defensively. Against a team that shot 41 threes, in the first half, we were just playing horse with them. And that's not what we're about. We're about getting up in people and making sure we play the whole bench and testing out our bench against theirs. And so I didn't think we did a really good job competing to our standard in the first half. So it was a bunch of me challenging them, but also letting them know that I believe in them. I believe that I wouldn't want to coach any other team, and that I love them still, but that you don't want to look back on your career and say, man, we lost that game because I didn't show up. So it was a lot of challenging. Yeah.
Coach, can you just talk about the trust? I know you said that you believe in your players. You didn't call a timeout at the end of regulation and also in overtime. So can you just talk about the trust that you have between you and your players?
Yeah, that was one thing I learned as a player. I was fortunate to play for one of the all-time winningest college coaches in the state of Oregon. And one thing, and he always goes fishing with me every summer, and we just talk hoops, and I learn a ton because I'm pretty green in this, and I just pick his brain. And I say, Coach, last second, last possession, and you could get a bucket or you call a timeout. And he said, let your players play. You recruited them; they're good players. Let them go if the defense isn't set. And there was a couple times where I didn't really feel like the defense was super set, and I trust our players to make plays instead of calling a timeout and then maybe calling a set that they've scouted before, or if they were to come out in zone and having to call 2 sets. I like our chances one-on-one. We got a talented group, especially with as many seniors as we have. So if they're going to roll the balls out, we need a bucket. I'm just going to let them go.
Jessica, is it difficult to when you're so much talent-wise better than a lot of the teams you play on a regular basis? Is it difficult to get adjusted at the beginning of a game when you're going against a team that's the same level as you, basically?
Yeah, for sure. It is difficult when you play a team that's just as good as you. But I thought that at first we were a little out of our element, but then we settled down and more so in the second half, like Coach was saying, and we just got into our groove and played our game.
Any other questions?
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thanks.